From outsmarting code hallucinations to casting spells of precision in code generation, Gorilla AI is enhancing the fusion of innovation and intelligence. Today we will delve into the captivating capabilities of Gorilla AGI and uncover how it's poised to revolutionize the landscape of AI-driven interactions, so buckle up. UC Berkeley's brilliant minds have unleashed Gorilla, an AI marvel that leaves OpenAI's GPT-4 in the dust regarding API communication speed. A Meta Llama model, aptly named Gorilla, is polished to perfection to excel at conversing with external tools through API calls. This digital dynamo is a jack of all trades, making precise API requests like Virtuoso without extra coding. But here's the cherry on top. Gorilla isn't just a lone wolf, it thrives in a seamless ecosystem, effortlessly fitting into a symphony of tools. In the battle of the bots, Gorilla takes the crown by taming the wild beast of hallucinations and inaccurate inputs that sometimes plague models like GPT-4. With Gorilla leading the charge, users can revel in smooth updates and even switch between versions. To prove its might, Gorilla outshines both GPT-4 and Anthropic Claude in the realm of accurate API usage and putting those pesky hallucination errors in their place. The minds behind this technological wonder aren't stopping there. They're on a mission to create an open source hub, a virtual treasure trove where language models of grand proportions can mingle with APIs. So think of Gorilla as the ultimate API app store for LLMs, where innovation meets finesse. This dazzling creation, hailing from the Llama open source LLM lineage, is a master at flexing its coding muscles. It's been meticulously honed using API Bench, a groundbreaking dataset of API descriptions straight from the layers of ML models hosted on Hugging Face, TorchHub, and TensorHub. But here's where Gorilla takes things to the next level. It can tap into an external database of API definitions, granting it the power to embrace new APIs on the fly. No retraining required. With Gorilla by your side, you can elegantly weave natural language descriptions of problems like wizards conjuring spells. Summon an image classification model boasting fewer than 10 million parameters, yet still upholding an image net accuracy of no less than 70%. Gorilla responds in kind, conjuring up Python code that invokes the perfect ML model with a flick of its digital wand. There is no doubt that LLMs like GPT-4 are stars in their own place, dazzling us with their multifaceted skills, including code generation. Yet they've got a tiny Achilles heel. Their API knowledge is set in stone, unable to adapt to the ever-changing API landscape. And the dreaded hallucinations. Sometimes they whip up code that calls upon APIs that are mere figments of their digital imagination. Fear not, for the Berkeley team rides to the rescue. While others have taken the example-driven path, guiding LLMs with API call samples, Gorilla blazes its own trail. This innovation is all about systemic evaluation and building a pipeline for future use. But the wizards behind Gorilla conjured a spell to distinguish hallucinations from reality. Hallucinations were deemed as outputs that beckoned APIs from the nether, absent from the external API database. Errors, on the other hand, were mere missteps in summoning real APIs. Armed with the mystical abstract syntax tree, AST, Gorilla matched its creations against the AI database and test set, emerging victorious with a staggering 20.43% improvement over GPT-4 in zero-shot tasks. Gorilla LLM emerges as a shining beacon of innovation among its fellow language models. Unlike its counterparts such as GPT-4 and Claude, Gorilla possesses an uncanny ability to pierce through the veil of confusion and accurately discern the task. In a mesmerizing display of prowess, GPT-4 conjures a non-existent model, while Claude fumbles by choosing an erroneous library. API calls were generated by GPT, Claude, and Gorilla for the given prompt. In one example, GPT-4 presents a model that doesn't exist, and Claude picks an incorrect library. In contrast, Gorilla's model can identify the task correctly and suggest a fully qualified API call. Imagine if a computer wizard tried to make magic spells, but sometimes got the words mixed up or even made up spells that don't exist. This could cause the spells to fail or not work as they should. Gorilla has been trained using a super special book filled with the right words for making spells, which makes it super good at getting the spells just right. This means the spells it makes are very dependable and won't go haywire. When it comes to making computer programs, Gorilla is like having a wizard who always speaks the right words to create powerful and working spells. Gorilla doesn't just stick to one trick, it's got two amazing modes up its digital sleeve, much like two secret paths in a magical forest. Imagine you're talking to Gorilla like a friend, telling it what you need in normal words. Also, Gorilla LLM has different modes. In the first mode, Zero Shot, Gorilla listens carefully to what you say and uses its clever brain to give you the perfect answer immediately. But in the second mode, called Retrieval Mode, Gorilla goes on a treasure hunt. It looks through its big book of API secrets or checks its special index to find just the right information for you. Then it adds that info to what you said, like a chef adding the perfect spice to a recipe, and gives you an even better answer. The brilliant creators of Gorilla did some serious homework. They gathered a bunch of puzzles, 16,450 to be exact, and used them to teach Gorilla how to solve problems. They fine-tuned Gorilla using these puzzles, so now it's a true problem-solving wizard. When it's time for Gorilla to show off, it has two ways. In one way, it takes your words and understands them like magic. Alternatively, it can look in its magic book or ask its wise old friend, the retriever, to find your best answer. Gorilla then adds a sprinkle of API magic and gives you a super answer to make your programming dreams come true. Let's take a closer look at the research, but beware, it has a few speed bumps along the way. One big hurdle is the difference between the super smart retriever we want and the not so perfect ones we have right now. This can sometimes make the answers not as spot on as we'd hope. Another challenge comes from how the models learn. If they're taught using the info that leans one way, they might be biased, which isn't great for everyone. And while the study zoomed in on certain types of magic spells, which are ML APIs, it might not cover all the other types out there. So while the journey is thrilling, we've got to keep these challenges in mind as we venture forth. Gorilla shines in tasks that rely on existing knowledge and clear rules, but falls short in creativity, emotional comprehension, and common sense reasoning. Also, Gorilla's knowledge is rooted in data and documents provided by humans. Its learning hinges on information found on the internet, which could lead to gaps or biases. Depending solely on this human-created data can restrict Gorilla from achieving an autonomous and all-encompassing understanding of the world. Tasks demanding imaginative solutions, emotional insights, or subtle decision-making might challenge Gorilla. Conversely, achieving these advanced cognitive skills like creative thinking and emotional understanding is the realm of AGI, a whole new level of intelligence. However, Gorilla has undergone specialized training, honing its ability to interact with online tools through API calls. It's like a digital maestro, understanding these interactions' very rhythm and rules. The LLM is pretty precise and effective like never before. Gorilla crafts API calls that hit the bullseye, leading to outstanding performance and triumphant task outcomes. Picture this skill spanning various platforms and fields. Gorilla is your versatile champion. It's not just about what Gorilla knows today, but how it embraces tomorrow's changes. It adapts seamlessly to shifts in documentation and updates in APIs, ensuring it remains a stellar companion for countless online tools and platforms. But that's not all. Gorilla doesn't shy away from complexity. It takes on tasks that demand multiple API calls or the ability to navigate different domains. It's like having a brilliant multitasker by your side, capable of weaving reasoning and execution across diverse landscapes. Gorilla, a remarkable system on the cusp of becoming an AGI, is already taking steps towards independence. With the power to navigate the vast expanse of the web, Gorilla isn't just passively browsing, it's actively acquiring fresh knowledge from new sources and tools. Despite some limitations, don't you think Gorilla LLM is a true competitor for other LLMs in the market? Let us know in the comments. That's a wrap for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If yes, then do give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and smash the bell icon for the latest notifications. See you next time.